up? It's Emorja. We're back for Black and Indie, and we are going to be giving you some hot topics really quick. So first, let me check in with my co-host. Euda, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm so good, you guys. I'm definitely not counting down the days until winter break hits.
Yes, yes. D, how you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm making it.
Sounds like grandma. Blake, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm definitely counting down the days till the semester is over. So it's that
Cool.
exciting.
Cool. Now I'm feeling it. So there's a lot that's happening on campus. So recently, Brian Kelly decided to leave Notre Dame to go work for LSU, where he was offered a $1 million contract.
100.
Excuse me, $100 million contract.
Wait, 1 million?
Yeah.
Like, that's way off, brother.
No, so I guess the question is, and this is one thing, I've heard people discussing it, like, for example, should he have left so abruptly? And of course, the thing is, we all found out on social media. But my back thought is this. What if, maybe he tried to tell them 2 weeks ago, there was no 2 week notice that we know of, but what happened behind the scenes? Like, did he really just up and leave, or was someone contacted and they just didn't get to the football players? Or in fact, did he really just say, I'm out? Like, I don't know. How would you feel if your professor just up and said, I'm leaving, I'm done?
And that's my only concern about it. Obviously, I'm not that big of a Notre Dame football fan to really be crying about whether BK leaves or not. But I do think that he treated the boys very unfairly, especially considering that some of them really don't have any agency over their careers while they are here.
I know.
This is a top program. They don't get paid for it. And so I think it was so unfair that he did this 2 weeks before finals, 2 weeks before they potentially may go to a major game. I think it was a lack of concern for their overall care. I think it was totally unfair to the boys.
I think it's like $100 million deal does not come together quickly.
No.
And so this must have been a thing that he knew was coming. And I don't know, it's kind of crazy to me that they didn't seem to not have planned for this, right? So there's photos of him out here with the mascot of LSU, today, posing for selfies, doing all this whole thing. And it's like, wait, you didn't, like that day was already planned.
Yeah.
Like that didn't come together out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And yet there was no plan for how I'm going to announce officially, to everyone. This came out through a leak, not through any official means.
Yeah.
And there's more that's going into this. So Kelly's he can bring any defensive coach that he wants, and the defensive coach that he's choosing is Notre Dame's defensive coach. So LSU is trying to take.
Wait, who? Who's one?
Marcus Freeman.
I keep hearing people talk about Marcus Freeman.
And I was talking to a friend about this, and this is how I see it going. Freeman can present ND with 2 choices. It's either make me the head coach, or I'm going to LSU, because they basically guarantee that he's going to be the highest paid defensive coach.
Oh, really? So there's a part B
if
to
he
it. I
goes,
didn't know
he's
that.
going for the bread as well. And it's like, when you compare what Notre Dame was paying them compared to what LSU was trying to do in their contract size, I don't blame him for leaving. You know what I mean? I just feel like that's a whole lot of bread to leave on the table. And then when we talk about players today, if you're getting a better deal, you go to that team. That's barely any players in the league today that's staying loyal to a team.
Yeah.
We got Kyrie, KD, and Harden on the Nets. It was never on the Nets.
Yeah.
But that's a whole separate issue. And I just feel like, being at a Catholic institution, I've heard, talk about him having problems with, being able to express himself and being presented, in public, representing Notre Dame, and how he had backlash from that. So I could see how he, felt like leaving, how LSU would be the better choice. It's warmer, there's better food, there's better looking people.
I mean, we're still going to Notre Dame, don't you?
I know, right?
It's go here.
It's
cold.
That's my home.
It's a lot. I mean, here's my thing. For men, building trust can be a task, or just building trust with anybody. But whenever you have someone that you've built trust with, and they just sort of up and leave, it's like, man, after you've invested and you've had you've had these experiences that have built a bond. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I think that there's a special bond between a football player or football players and their coaches. And Brian Kelly being such a notable person, not just on our campus, but also in the country. People know Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish, at least to the audience's ears, I wish there would have been at least a 2-week notice.
And that's again, to me, that is crazy that this was not planned, to have it seems like a transitional period.
Yeah.
Also, I thought the season was over, like the last home game happened, but I guess the season's not over. So he's leaving mid-season, and I think it's gotta suck, like if you're a player or if you're a fan of Notre Dame football, to see him today. Like yesterday, the news breaks. Today, he's taking selfies
on
with
social
the Tigers.
media.
I mean, come a morning period.
Well, you can at least give me
Something.
a Notre Dame letter with the logo on it or
The
something.
real question is like, why now? Like, why at this specific time are they choosing to solidify that deal? And it's like, I'm not sure if I'm correct, but you know, LSU and Indy are gonna be bound to play each other, you know, at some point. So the fact that they just took our coach, you know what I mean, who got us to this position.
Maybe the deal wasn't finished, and now we're getting into pure speculation. But maybe the deal wasn't finished. Like maybe they didn't, you know what I mean? And they wasn't sure yet, and they weren't going to announce until the season had ended. But then it broke, and it's out now. And so they're like, whatever, get the mascot out.
Right.
I mean, but
that is
typically
true.
when there's word of like, you know, trading coaches or something like this on this level, they do have there is conversation presented. Like, you know, there are other teams that want him. But like of this past year, I don't think nobody knew he was really about to, you know, dip out of here. And like he made his decision. Like he's gone. You know what I mean? And we just hearing about it.
I too will
Like
be gone. $100 million.
Yeah.
LSU, I will.
I mean, because we all want to like go to a job where we make more money. So I mean, I get it. I think just the way it
It was just poorly. It was poorly put out. It would leave a bad taste in people's mouth for sure. And I do hope that Brian eventually has a real sincere conversation with the boys, not a talk at 7 o'clock in the morning and he's leaving at 7:15. I think he needs a real conversation because at the end of the day, these are this boy. This is their education as well as their future careers, and I think it was a little poorly planned. And I also think if it was executed well, Notre Dame would have already announced the interim coach at this point. Y'all know Notre Dame has contingency plans for their contingency plans. So I hope within this week, they will announce a interim coach.
I hope so.
That's why I'm like, they're going to have that conversation with Freeman. That's why I'm like, that has to happen.
Yeah, we'll see when that happens.
Yeah,
outside of what's going on campus, there was recently a shooting in Michigan that we wanted to sort of touch on for a second. D or anyone?
Yeah, it was at Hoxford High School. So far, 3 students are dead. And obviously, we're still waiting on more information to come in because 6 people were fatally shot and about 13 others were injured. So I've heard from, based on what I've read about everything that is going on, some students did not come to school that day for that specific reason, and the shooter was being bullied. So a lot of conversation around it as well. Is this bully going to use Rittenhouse and say self-defense? So I think that was a fair question to ask, but overall, it makes me scared and just anxious just that anybody, even in a school, could just go in and shoot people.
Yeah, I feel it.
Like, people are not safe anymore. Like, teachers are not just writing on whiteboards anymore. They're protecting their students with their lives and their bodies, and I don't think we've seriously analyzed like the level of reachment of guns. Like, they're in our schools now, which is supposed to be a no-gun zone. So it's unfortunate.
It's crazy. I think for me, like, it's tiring, like, where I'm just like, after a certain while, I think specifically after Sandy Hook, like, which happened now a while ago, but I think when that happened, when it was elementary school students, when it was like little kids and so many of them, and nothing happened, like no like gun control legislation that was like nationally or federal gun control legislation came after that, like I was like, that's the high watermark. Like, it doesn't get any worse than this, right? And this is just going to keep happening, and that, like, the fact that we didn't do anything about after Sandy Hook means that we're okay with this. Like, we tacitly, like, as all Americans, like, including those of us here, like, are saying that we are okay with this current status quo. We're okay with just having this conversation every single time. Like, we have the same conversation, and then we all move forward, and then another shooting happens, and then we have this conversation again, rinse, repeat, like, more guns get sold, like, all of that. So.
It's a lot. It's exhausting. Just like there's this whole Omicron variant. What's that?
Omarion variant?
That's not what we're doing now. Oh, my God.
I don't know. There's so many things happening in our world, but at the end of the day, we got to find some kind of space where we can have peace.
Yeah.
Erda, just give us some peace, Erda.
hilarious.
Use your peace study degree
I'm telling you, y'all.
and get us some peace around
I'm
here.
barely getting through this semester.
Yeah, I know. I
Give
know.
everybody a little piece of that integral human development, please.
Listen.
Because it's getting bad out here,
Yeah.
and I just want us to have a better regard for life overall.
Yeah, because things are can be a little wonky around the holidays. That's when you start to see so many people who are passing away. I don't know why the holidays, bring about that event of life, but I don't know. But listen, you all, I'm not going to keep you long, but that's all we really want to just touch on for today. Make sure that you also like, subscribe, share, follow us. We got some pretty cool stuff that you don't want to miss. Oh, and we're on TikTok now. All right. So you can find us on there, black_@Indy. Yes. Yeah. So any parting words before we get out of here?
Countdown, baby.
It was coalesce. That's
Yes.
my parting word.
We are all coalescing here on the stage. You will catch it later. Have a good one, y'all.